taken off from our slip here that we've had for the last month. Do you need me to watch the front? Okay, straight out. We were here a month. Yeah, you're not to the pivot yet. In fact, the fender is riding on the side on this dock. Okay, almost there. Good, you can pivot now. Yeah, we were here for a month. Our boat was here for a month, I should say. We weren't here the whole time. There is nothing quite like docking either here at Tidewater or over across the other side on Waterside, as far as the show that you're gonna get whenever you just sit on your boat and watch everything that goes by. It is quite a spectacular array of boats and tour boats, ferries, pirate ships, everything that you could imagine and more. Had to make a quick stop here to the pump out. So we have 2 pump out heads, one for each head. And there you go. Let the grossness begin.
So, welcome to the bridge of the Here's to Us and What Yacht To Do. As Rev mentioned, we came over here to pump out, and so we are waiting here as we finish our coffee and kind of get organized. We got the trip in here, we got it in all our devices, everything is synced up. AIS is on, electronics are working, and haven't moved the boat in a month, so just kind of thinking through things. We're going to be experimenting with a new app, and I'll tell you a little bit more about that underway. And also, if you're not on our newsletter, go to whatyachttodo.com and sign up for that newsletter for a lot of tips, tricks, and techniques about boating and the Great Loop. So we're going to head on up and head up to Deltaville somewhere and throw the hook for the night. We want to get an early start because there are afternoon thunderstorms. So hopefully be tied down there in a nice anchorage and ride out any storms that come along.
There's a yellow buoy. Between that and the sailboat, is that where we're going?
Well, we are officially at the end of the intra-coastal waterway, and mile marker 0 right here at what's called Hospital Point, in conjunction with the Navy hospital that is over there. We're now officially going to be heading up to Chesapeake and enjoying that. Hopefully we'll have some great weather. A lot of barge traffic out here this morning, moving around, getting ready to do whatever work we've got to get done. And we'll see a couple of ships along the way on the right side and the left side of the boat, and we had seen those on the American Rover, so we kind of know what they are. A couple of supply ships up here off to the port side for about a quarter of a mile or half a mile. Well, we are seeing a lot of Navy ships over here getting refurbished, repaired. In the background there with the scaffolding on it, that is the San Antonio. One of the San Antonio class ships that were built back in Norfolk. I think we gave you a glimpse of the New York, which is had some of the steel that was recovered from the Twin Towers collapse in New York in 2001. Off to the left here is a cargo ship. It is called the Freedom. on these Navy ships that are out here, if you do see a Navy ship, it's real easy to just go on the internet and type in like number 58 Navy ship, and it will come up and tell you all about that particular ship. We're getting a little roll here from this boat that passed us. Nothing major. We're hoping that the Chesapeake is going to be kind to us today, but lots more to see before we get to the mouth of the Chesapeake. Very interesting area. Largest naval base in the world, Norfolk. So lots of things to see and learn and do here. So we are here and passing by the Norfolk Naval shipyards, and we see all around us different types of ships, and one on the horizon up here is the number 5. And while I thought it was an aircraft carrier, it is not. It's an amphibious assault ship, so a lot smaller than an aircraft carrier would be, I suppose. Not an expert on all the Navy stuff, but you can look it up, and there are plenty of ships around here that are in port, getting refurbished, or whatever their process is for maintaining our Navy fleet. So, stand corrected, there was an aircraft carrier behind that ship, and with the sun I couldn't make out the difference of them, but as we passed it there, you can see the aircraft carrier, and then it looks like some kind of supply ship, white hull vessel coming out of there, so we got out of its way, and another San Antonio class ship in port there. So now coming to the end of the Norfolk Naval Base, and we'll be heading out into the Chesapeake here very soon. Looks like a great day to be on the bay. We're going to be heading north.
Okay, if it works okay for you, if you wouldn't mind slipping over to your port, we'll stay tight on the green buoys, come by your starboard side.
All right, we'll slip over to the port, and just one pass to work. Thank you.
Okay, that's good.
Who is that?
That big ship behind us.
So what's going on here?
So we're maintaining a speed of about 9, and the Zeus, which is a big ship, that white ship that came out, they want to pass us. So we're going to slip over to the port here, and he is going to pass us on our starboard.
The Norwegian Joy is passing that Navy ship. They're going about 21 miles an hour. Got a crab pot boat working this morning. Just saw him drop off a few.
So we're making our way up the Chesapeake Bay and off to the port side. You see a whole bunch of houses out there called Dog Beach. Also Buckrow Beach and Park out there, that green area. Somewhere out there there's a big long fishing pier. And for those of you following along on Navionics or whatever map program you have, chart program you have, we're just approaching the green 3 dayboard that's out here, and it's also a light as well.
I don't know if you have ever crossed the Chesapeake Bay, but it's not always like this. Today has just been so peaceful and relaxing, and I hope the day that you're out here, you have a nice peaceful crossing as well.
All right, so the day is progressing nice, and rather than do a short run today, well, the weather's good because there is some weather coming on later, I say why not roll with it when the weather's good? And we're getting a nice push from the tide as well. We've been able to bring the RPMs back and save a little fuel and just keep the same speed. We may put it up on plane a little bit later, but now still, we're going to get to an anchorage around noon, and why sit out in the anchorage and you know, look at each other, work on videos, I don't know. And then the next day would be, okay, maybe the weather's going to be bad. So we're going to go a little bit further. We're going to cover about 89, 90 miles today and anchor out at a next place that we are going to do. So we'll be a day ahead of schedule. And that's good. The Chesapeake right now is just beautiful. I don't remember it this calm last time, so we're going to take advantage of it and move while we can. The next couple of days there'll be some rain that's coming, so we're thinking of just moving while the weather's good. Now, one of the things that I did to come up with that decision here was I played around with auto guidance, which is a term for the Garmin, and then auto routing, which is a term for navionics. On this screen here is I have my Aquamap as a backup. Aquamap does a great job with a lot of things. It does not have a dock-to-dock tool like auto guidance or auto routing, and they don't plan to have that. They're very good at a lot of other things that they do. So that's kind of the big picture here. So I think I've always told you to trust auto guidance, and so I played around with it a little bit and don't trust it. Okay, so I was able to go in and modify it a little bit. What auto guidance did was take me right through a shoal area. Now, probably it would have been okay, but I'd rather not plan to go through 9 feet of water. And so if I just move it out a couple miles, I'm in 15, 17 feet of water, which is a lot more comfortable. You know, why chance it a little bit? So we're modifying that, playing with that, learning about that, and we're also following along on our navionics. So whatever tools that you use, you know, make sure that you know where they're going. And here, it's safe to kind of play around. I'm looking up and glancing and seeing what I'm doing. It's got sailboats around, but I'm able to explore real time and see what these things do, so that later, if I need to use them, I know their limitations and some of the things to look out for. All right, so we are east of Smith Point on the Chesapeake Bay, and for those of you who are thinking about getting your captain's license, you know, you learn a lot of stuff on there about traffic separation schemes. Rule 10, international and inland. If you're in the co-regs, you got to read them international and inland. And so right now we can see on here as I've got a traffic separation scheme as outbound and inbound. And so largely for the commercial vessels to ensure that there are separation between them, and we can see 2 targets there coming inbound in this particular area. There's somebody coming outbound here. So we like to see that stuff, and it applies to mostly the commercial vessels, but be aware of it when you see it on the chart.
Can you see that out there in the distance? It's called Smith Point Light. Rolling along in the Chesapeake Bay. Beautiful day.
We made it. We are anchored at Cornfield Harbor. There are actually 2 Cornfield Harbor icons out there on navionics. And so we're in the westernmost one, because the easternmost one has got a lot of fish steaks out there, and I wouldn't even want to try to go over there. Now this one, we came in and we thought, oh, this is going to be great. There's no boats there. And that's because there's a lot of crab pots. But luckily, we found a sweet little spot here in the middle that we are not going to have any problem with the crab pots, and we dropped in about 10 feet of water. Tide will go out 1 foot, so you know, we'll be down to maybe 9 feet, and then it's going to go back up 2 feet. So we are set. The anchor is set. The anchor alarms are holding. We got the snubber on. It's hot. So we got the generator on. We might even do some air conditioning in the salon. We got a big old fan blowing down there to kind of cool things down, because it's, I think Rev said it's 93, but it feels like 99. And if it feels like 99, it might as well just feel like 100. So we will catch you on the next trip with the Here's to Us. Plan to get up early and take advantage of the calm seas. We'll see what happens with thunderstorms, that kind of stuff, but nearing the end of the second loop, and we're excited about that.